In the ancient land of India, amidst the grandeur of kingdoms and the whispers of gods, a tale of epic proportions unfolds. Welcome to the Mahabharata, where every word is a verse and every verse a universe. This is the Mahabharata, one of the greatest epics in human history, a sprawling saga that unveils the complexities of human nature against a backdrop of divine intervention and epic battles. Born from the heart of ancient India, the Mahabharata is more than just a story. It is a mirror reflecting the eternal struggles of humanity, the battle between Dharma and Adharma, the conflict between duty and desire, and the enduring power of love and sacrifice. Chapter 1. The Genesis of Greatness. Our story begins in the kingdom of Hastinapura, ruled by the wise and noble King Shantanu. The Aryans, descendants of King Kuru clan, a legendary ruler, were destined for greatness. Their kingdom, a land of fertile plains and mighty rivers, flourished under their rule. Known for their valor, wisdom, and commitment to Dharma, the kings of the Kuru dynasty shaped their people's destiny. But their tale is not without drama, intrigue, and conflict. We will encounter unforgettable characters, kings, queens, warriors, sages, lovers, and rivals in this grand drama. Our journey begins with King Shantanu, a ruler renowned for his wisdom and justice. Picture him, if you will, a figure of regal bearing, his brow creased with the weight of responsibility, yet his eyes reflecting a deep compassion for his people. Shantanu, however, carried a heavy heart, haunted by a longing he could not satisfy. One fateful day, while wandering along the banks of the sacred river Ganga, he beheld a sight that would change his life forever. Emerging from the heart of the river was a vision of ethereal beauty. Ganga, the river goddess herself, her form shimmering with an otherworldly radiance. Shantanu, captivated by her beauty, found himself drawn to her like a moth to a flame. Ganga, too, was enchanted by the noble king, his gentle demeanor a stark contrast to her wild, untamed spirit. Their meeting was not a coincidence, but the will of destiny, a celestial union ordained by the gods themselves. From their love, a bond both divine and human, blossomed a tale of passion and sorrow. Ganga agreed to become Shantanu's queen, but her love came with a heavy price, a condition that shrouded their future in mystery. Time, like the river Ganga herself, flowed onward, and from the union of Shantanu and Ganga, a son was born. His name was Devavrata, a child destined for greatness, his destiny entwined with the very fate of the Kuru dynasty. Even as an infant, Devavrata possessed an aura of divinity, his eyes reflecting a wisdom beyond his years. But their happiness was tragically short-lived. True to her word, Ganga, bound by a divine secret, stole away each of her first 7 sons, returning them to the celestial realm from whence they came. Shantanu, bound by his promise, watched in silent agony, his heart torn between his love for Ganga and the unbearable pain of losing his children. The birth of their 8th son brought with it a renewed sense of hope, but also a palpable tension. Would Ganga, once again, fulfill her mysterious duty and take this child away from Shantanu? The king, unable to bear the thought of losing another child, finally broke his promise, questioning Ganga's actions. Ganga, her heart heavy with sorrow, revealed her divine purpose. Years turned into seasons, and seasons into memories. Shantanu, still grieving the loss of Ganga and his sons, continued to rule his kingdom with wisdom and justice. Yet the memory of his lost love and the mystery surrounding his 8th son, Devavrata, never faded. Meanwhile, Ganga, true to her word, had been carefully nurturing Devavrata, educating him in the arts of war and statecraft, instilling in him the virtues of Dharma and righteousness. Under her tutelage, Devavrata blossomed into a formidable warrior, a master of weaponry, and a scholar of the Vedas. When the time was right, Ganga returned Devavrata to his father, presenting him as a gift, a prince worthy of his lineage. Shantanu, overjoyed to be reunited with his son, welcomed him with open arms. The court marveled at Devavrata's presence, his very being radiating an aura of power and grace. Devavrata, now a young man, quickly proved himself to be a capable leader, wise beyond his years. He excelled in all his endeavors, winning the hearts of his people and earning the respect of his peers. But fate, it seemed, had other plans for the young prince. The fisherman's condition struck Shantanu like a bolt of lightning. Torn between his love for Satyavati and his duty to his son Devavrata, the king found himself at a crossroads. Yet, the allure of Satyavati clouded his judgment. He returned to the palace, his heart heavy with the knowledge that the fisherman's condition would have dire consequences. Devavrata sensed his father's turmoil. With unwavering resolve, he decided to sacrifice his own birthright for his father's happiness. Devavrata took a vow of celibacy, renouncing his claim to the throne. His sacrifice resonated throughout the kingdom. The arrival of Satyavati at the palace marked a turning point in the saga of the Kuru dynasty. While her presence brought joy to Shantanu, it also ushered in an era of subtle power shifts and unspoken tensions. The court, once a beacon of unity and wisdom, now whispered with rumors and speculation. Satyavati, though grateful for Bhishma's sacrifice, was a woman of ambition. She carried with her the weight of her father's aspirations, the desire to see her lineage rule the kingdom, and as Shantanu, consumed by his love for his new queen, gradually retreated from the daily affairs of the court, Satyavati's influence grew. Her presence, once a whisper in the grand halls of the palace, became a force to be reckoned with. She navigated the intricate web of courtly politics with a shrewdness that surprised many, always mindful of securing her son's future. Time, in its relentless march, brought about a change in seasons and a shift in power dynamics within the palace walls. Shantanu, his hair now streaked with silver, found solace in Satyavati's love, seemingly oblivious to the undercurrents of tension that rippled through his court. Satyavati bore Shantanu two sons, Chitrangada and Vichitravirya, fulfilling her part of the unspoken bargain that had sealed their union. The arrival of these princes, each bearing the lineage of both king and commoner, further complicated the line of succession, adding fuel to the smoldering embers of ambition. The court watched with bated breath, the air thick with unspoken anxieties. Bhishma, ever vigilant, observed these developments with a heavy heart. His vow, intended to quell discord, had inadvertently created a breeding ground for jealousy and resentment. Tragically, Shantanu's reign came to an end, his death leaving a void in the heart of the kingdom and a power vacuum that would have to be filled. Chitrangada, the elder of Satyavati's sons, ascended the throne, his rule marked by a brashness that stemmed from his youth and inexperience. With Vichitravirya still too young to rule, the responsibility of guiding the kingdom fell upon Bhishma, the ever-dutiful son. He shouldered this burden with grace and determination, his wisdom serving as a beacon of stability. Yet, the question of succession loomed large, casting a long shadow over the kingdom. Satyavati, mindful of her promise and ambitions, knew the future rested on securing a wife for Vichitravirya. Bhishma, attuned to his stepmother's desires, took it upon himself to find a bride for his half-brother. His quest led him to the kingdom of Kashi, where 3 princesses awaited their fate. Little did he know this journey would set in motion events that would plunge the Kuru dynasty into turmoil and conflict. The seeds of a war were about to be sown, and Bhishma would find himself at the heart of it all. We began our journey by tracing the lineage of the Kuru dynasty, a lineage steeped in both glory and sorrow. We met King Shantanu, a ruler torn between love and duty, and witnessed his fateful encounter with the divine Ganga. From their union, a son was born, Devavrata, who would later be known as Bhishma, a man destined for greatness, but fated to shoulder the burdens of his family's legacy. Bhishma's act of renunciation, his selfless sacrifice for his father's happiness, set in motion a chain of events that will reverberate throughout our story. The arrival of Satyavati, her ambition, and the birth of her sons have introduced a new dynamic, a delicate balance of power that threatens to tip the scales of fate. Join us next time as we delve deeper into the world of the Mahabharata, exploring the events that will lead to a conflict of epic proportions, a war that will test the limits of loyalty, duty, and love. Subscribe now and be sure not to miss the next chapter in this timeless epic.